magnetic anomaly detector. Try saying that when you've had a few beers.
Glad it wasn't just me who fell over it before. Here we go.
Very quiet, relatively.
Quieter taking off just over there than it was sitting right here in front of us warming up.
4,600 shaft horsepower engines. The aircraft has an endurance of up to 15 hours and a range of about 5,600 nautical miles, or about 9,000 kilometres. So a very useful aircraft in that particular role.
Does have a bathroom, does have a kitchen, couple of bunks down the back. Quite different comparing the B versus the C in the interior down the back. Big roomy in the B with areas to load the sonobuoys and so on.
Has an armament in the bomb bay. It'll take up to 20,000 pounds. It has 10 wing stations, hard points as well, where they can mount pylons. That'll take torpedoes, sea mines, gravity bombs, depth charges, Harpoon Maverick, and the AGM-85 standoff land attack missiles, torpedoes, heli boxes, all sorts of things. And they've been useful for many years. Of course, took over from the another Lockheed product, a wonderful Neptune.
Which two are sitting on the taxiway just behind us here, opposite the Paul Bennett Airshow's trailer.
Yep, 2 of 3 I think that Haas currently has.
Why not collect them all, right? Now folks, chatting with Rowan, one of the pilots, he was saying we should see a similar display to what they put on at Edinburgh back in 2019, which means they should come in for their first pass at about 300 knots and of a max speed of 405, and then go into a right orbit, slowing right on down to about 180 knots. And that's always pretty spectacular, watching an Orion come in a flat chat and then just suddenly slow down in an orbit.
They actually went into service with VP-8 of the US Navy, and that was around 1962. So it's had a considerable operational career, as Grant mentioned, still being flown by the Kiwis.
Also a couple with the US, with NOAA, with the Hurricane Hunters.
Yep, those guys who fly into a hurricane. I've never been able to understand what drives a person to want to do that, but certainly providing incredible amount of data to save many lives.
Yep. My father actually did that in the Sunderland back in the 50s. I asked if they could go back in again. They said, nope.
You can see a little bit of exhaust smokiness from those engines. That's very normal.
Yep. Could see one on final approach, big cloud of smoke before you saw the aircraft sometimes.
A lot different to like the B-52, where you could see it coming from miles and miles away.
Same with the 707.
We actually introduced them with 11 Squadron in May 1968. And equipped number 82 wing with 10 and 11 squadrons. So they've been operating Neptunes before, and also the maritime version of the Lincoln that was specifically produced here in Australia.
Was that the Shackleton?
No, the Lincoln.
Okay.
The one that we built it with a normal short nose, and then we built the Mark 31 with a very much extended nose for the long range work.
That was it. Looking great as it banks around with the escarpment in the background. Colours slightly changing as it goes under the clouds. Getting the sun in different angles. Always a beautiful looking aircraft for this one for me. And the guys said that what we should see here is that they're going to have the bomb bay doors open, so we'll see if I'm right on this one. And if they do, this is where they carried torpedoes and air sea rescue kits, as Ando was saying. No.
92 wing had 10 and 11 squadrons. It also had number 292 training unit and 492 squadron, which was there for all the maintenance support, and they were based over at Edinburgh in South Australia, just north of Adelaide. Well, that's the last time I trust my friend to tell me what's coming up in the show. I'll have to give them a stir after this for a couple of things now. 18 of these aircraft were converted to AP-3C specifications, and the first was delivered in 2001 with new radar, nose-mounted electro-optical infrared sensors, nav equipment, signals and electronic intelligence gathering gear. So they also did another upgrade in 2008. And they've had detachments in the Middle East, the war of terrorism in Iraq, and some of them were modified significantly for the secret squirrel stuff to with what they call SIGINT, or signals intelligence. And towards the end there, they were even able to fire the Harpoon missile, and a gentleman I worked with actually had a panel for launching the Harpoon from when he worked with the Orion. I was asking him, how the hell did he get that? So that's equipment, and then he leant over and said, from the simulator. So he was allowed to have it in the civilian role. There's one of these aircraft. You may recall Tony Bullimore, round the world yacht race in the Great Southern Ocean. The craft foundered and went upside down, and it was a P3 that found him in horrendous conditions and directed an Australian Navy vessel to actually pick him up. Coming in from the left, from the south, lots of smoke. So this is a bit of a high-speed run now. Been told it's the last pass. Have a listen to this. You might have seen just under the fuselage there behind the wing, there's a particular position there that had a whole lot of what looked like little doors. And that's where you dropped out the sonar buoys to pick up the signals from the submarines. Absolutely beautiful sound. Aircraft flown today by Alex Jackson and Mike Price from Haas, former P3 pilots. Again, part of the cadre of very experienced pilots down here at Haas. They operate a huge variety of aircraft, basically from the Tiger Moth, the 3-engine de Havilland Australia Drover, the P3, the Connie. There's all manner of wondrous things, and very soon the replica of Sir Charles Kingsford Smith's Southern Cross should take back to the air. The aircraft was purchased from the South Australian government in damaged condition. Haas have done a magnificent job on repairing the wings, and they're just waiting on radios and transponders now, and we will see next year at this wings over the Illawarra, we'll see the Southern Cross flying.
That would be great to see, because the last few that I've been here with you, you've been able to report on progress of that restoration, and also a lady who was selling a book about it, I believe.
That's right. That was the very lovely Gay Taylor, daughter of P.G. Taylor. And
there you go.
Wonderful lady. She lives up on the north coast. She's actually a tour guide up at the Byron Bay Lighthouse.
Cool. You can see the landing lights to the north on the right as the P3 is setting itself up to come on down.
Now's the time to apply for a career in the Australian Defence Force. You'll enjoy a rich and rewarding blend of career and lifestyle opportunities, fulfilling work, job security, and many benefits. Join Defence Force recruiting at Wings Over Illawarra and speak with current serving members about starting your application, or apply online at defencejobs.gov.au.
If you're keen to reach maximum altitude, check out our bar partners this year at Wings. Trolleyed are activating the Aviator Bar with their Shorts 330 cockpit and fuselage. They'll be providing first-class service with their aviation bar trolleys, pilots and cabin crew. So make sure you check them out for in-flight and after takeoff.
Ever wondered what freefall